The name of this poem is Calle Visión, and it's a longish poem. I wanted to just mention some things that appear in it so they'll be more recognizable to you when you hear it. I was driving in the mountains of northern New Mexico some years ago and passed a very small turnoff with the street sign or road sign that said Calle Visión. And I'd driven past it and I thought, maybe I should go back and see where that leads me. And then I thought, no, I will imagine where it leads me. And that is how this poem began. And in it, I quote from the 17th century, the great 17th century British writer and English writer and physician, Sir Thomas Browne. He wrote a book called Religio Medici, which is a doctor's religion. And in it, he says that this world is a place not to live but to die in, not an inn but a hospital. And I also quote, I actually underwent surgery around the time that I wrote this poem and had to have an MRI scan. And you have to fill out a questionnaire when you have an MRI scan. And the questionnaire, in my case, asked, among other things, have you ever worked around metal? Are there particles under your skin? And that really started me thinking about the conditions of labor, the conditions of work that people live in every day in order to go to work at all. And there are a couple of, there are two sections in the poem. One draws on a story in the New York Times about how pigs are raised in the factory process by which pigs are raised. And the other was actually, I'm happy to say, an article in The Progressive about the fire in the chicken factory in, I'm not sure whether it was Kentucky or Tennessee now, a factory where people cut up and fried chickens for all kinds of frozen food, and in which the doors were locked. Therefore, no one escaped. And so throughout this poem, I'm thinking a great deal about the conditions of work, and that is part of the vision. Calle Visión. Oh, and I also quote from the great jazz singer, Abbey Lincoln, who has a wonderful album with a wonderful title song, The World is Falling Down. Calle Visión. Not what you thought, just a turnoff, leading downhill, not up, narrow, doesn't waste itself, has a house at the far end, scrub oak and cactus in the yard, some cats, some snakes. In the house there is a room. In the room there is a bed. On the bed there is a blanket that tells the coming of the railroad. Under the blanket there are sheets, scrubbed transparent here and there. Under the sheets there's a mattress, the old rough kind, with buttons and ticking. Under the mattress is a frame of rusting iron, still strong. The whole bed smells of soap and rust. The window smells of old tobacco dust and rain. This is your room in Calle Visión. If you took the turnoff, it was for you. Calle Visión, sand in your teeth, granules of cartilage in your wrists. Calle Visión, firestorm behind shuttered eyelids, fire in your foot, Calle Visión, rocking the gates of your locked bones, Calle Visión, dream net dropped over your porous sleep. Lodged in the difficult hotel, all help withheld, a place not to live but to die in, not an inn but a hospital. A friend's love came to me, touched and took me away in a car, love of a curmudgeon, a short fuse. And as he drove, eyes on the road, I felt his love. And that was simply the case, the way things were, unstated and apparent, and like the rest of it, clear as a dream. Calle Visión, your heart beats on unbroken. How is this possible? Calle Visión, wounded knee, wounded spine, wounded eye. Have you ever worked around metal? Are there particles under your skin? Calle Visión, but your heart is still whole. How is this possible? Since what can be will be taken, when not offered in trust and faith, by the collectors of collectibles, the professors of what has been suffered. The world is falling down. Hold my hand. It's a lonely sound. Hold my hand. Calle Visión, never forget the body's pain, never divide it. Ammonia, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, hydrogen sulfide, the gases that rise from urine and feces in the pig confinement units known as nurseries, can eat a metal doorknob off in half a year. Pig dander, dust from dry manure, lung scar, breath shortedness, an early symptom. And the fire shall try every man's work, Calle Visión, and every woman's. If you took the turn off, this is your revelation, this the source. The repetitive motions of slaughtering, fire in wrists and elbows, the dead birds coming at you along the line, how you smell them in your sleep, fire in your wrist, blood packed under your fingernails, heavy air, doors padlocked on the outside, you might steal a chicken. Fire in the chicken factory, fire in the carpal tunnel, leaping the frying vats, yellow smoke from soybean oil and wasted parts and insulating wire, some fleeing to the freezer, some found stuck in poses of escape. You can call on beauty still and it will leap from all directions. You can write beauty into the cruel file of things done, things left undone, but once we were dissimilar yet unseparate. That's beauty. That's what you catch in the newborn's midnight gaze, the fog that melts the falling stars, the virus from the smashed lianas driven, searching now for us. In the room, in the house, in Calle Visión, all you want is to lie down, alone on your back. Let your hands slide lightly over your hip bones. But she's there, with her remnants, her cross-sections, trying to distract you with her childhood, her recipes, her cargo of charred pages, her carved and freckled neck stones, her crying out for witness, her backward-forward timescapes, her suitcase in Berlin, and the one lost and found in her island go and come. Is she terrified you will forget her? In the black net of her orange wing, the angry night-blown butterfly, hangs on a piece of lilac in the sun, carried overland like her from a long way off. She has traveled hard and far, and her interrogation goes, hands dripping with wet earth, head full of shocking dreams. Oh, what have you buried all these years? What have you dug up? This place is alive with the dead and with the living. I have never been alone here. I wear my triple eye as I walk along the road. Past, present, future, all are at my side. Storm-beaten, tough-winged passenger, there is nothing I have buried that can die. On the road, there is a house, scrub oak and cactus in the yard, lilac carried overland from a long way off. In the house, there is a bed. On the bed, there is a blanket telling the coming of the railroad. Under the mattress, there's a frame of rusting iron, still strong. The window smells of old tobacco dust and rain. The window smells of old tobacco dust and rain.